Hey guys, with the new year coming up, I wanted to compile some of my favorite goals and resolution ideas for artists that you could kick off in 2023. There are 7 in total. You can do a couple, do some, or do absolutely none. The point of this video is simply to get you inspired and to help you start off the new year feeling motivated and excited about your art aspirations. So starting off with number 1. Create baby steps for that dream project of yours. This doesn't have to be, and probably shouldn't be, a huge, complicated project. For example, if you've always wanted to create a webtoon series, it might not be wise to start off the New Year's diving straight into chapter 1. By the first few weeks of the month, you'll probably find yourself burning out. Instead, create smaller, more achievable goals for your webtoon. An example of this might be to create character sheets for your cast by the end of January. Then to have a fleshed out script of maybe the first 5 chapters by the end of February. March could then consist of sketching out those 5 chapters, and April could be bringing those pages to a finish. Those are just a couple ideas that were off the top of my head, but if you break down a larger goal into smaller steps, it's much more easily achievable. There has to be milestones for you to complete in order for you to feel satisfied and to know that you're actually progressing through the project. It's by breaking down these smaller goals that we really start to get things done. And you should also reward yourself after completing each mini goal. When you reward yourself, I think it really gets the dopamine going in your brain, and it lets you know that you're doing well, and you have to give yourself those little happy moments. Number 2 is selling your art in forms of passive income. Passive income is when you post a product online and it sells regularly without you having to do much of anything. All you do is create the product and then post it. Most of my favorite artists on Instagram have an imprint, which is where you upload your art and the website takes care of all the printing and shipping. They also take a cut of the money, but you don't have to do anything but upload your work. So after uploading, any sales you make become passive income. It's very low effort and potentially high reward. There's absolutely nothing you can lose by trying. A lot of people don't think to do it because they just don't think their art is good enough. But the reality of it is you never know what someone might like. And by not having your product already on these websites, you're losing potential income, Whether it's 1 sale a month, 3 sales, 100, it doesn't matter. A sale is a sale. And I think as artists, we undermine our own work and we're like, oh, no one would ever buy this, and you just don't do it. But the truth is you lose nothing by uploading, and it's actually really easy, but you do lose potential customers by not actually uploading the artwork. So for this new year, consider starting to do that. Prints are a very popular route people like to take for passive income, but some artists also choose to upload their work onto shirts or into stickers. And there's other sites like Redbubble that have the option to upload your product onto dozens of mediums. I would do a little bit of research on the different websites for passive income for artists and also see what your favorite artists are using. Usually they'll have links in their bios on Instagram and Twitter and all that. And find out the one that fits comfortably for you and upload some artwork. Number 3 is to start sharing your artwork regularly. The secret to gaining a following on Instagram, TikTok, or any other platform is consistency. In the new year, make it your goal to post regularly, whether that is once a week or once a day. The important thing is to find out what works for you and your schedule to avoid burnout. Consider starting at once or twice a week, and if you can't even manage that because you're really busy, once a month. Do not burn yourself out. You can post sketches if you're limited on time, or you can post more polished pieces of artwork. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is to post. We all have to start somewhere. Starting is the hardest part. But remember, Reels have the most reachability on Instagram, much more than posts do. Therefore, after creating your sketch or final art piece, make a quick reel out of it. Posting Reels gets more eyes on your page. My current Instagram is proof of that. I just reached 8K followers, and I'm not even kidding when I tell you 95% of those followers, probably more, it's probably like 98%, came from Reels. And that was only over a course of maybe 3 or 4 months. Because if you post a reel, sure, it might not pop off. You might only get 100 views, you might get 20, but the next reel that you post, you might get 200 views. And then the next reel you post, it could be 400. The next reel could go back down to 20. The next reel might be the one that goes a little viral. You might get 10K views. You never know what the algorithm will push. Just make sure that you're creating high quality reels that aren't blurry. Make sure to use trending audio, which will have a little upward arrow by the audio, and post consistently, whether it's once a week, a couple times a week, you know what I mean. And there are some reels that are really low effort, like just recording your hand, sketching a few lines, and then zooming out to the sound of the music. People love that stuff. And by posting your art regularly, you may also begin to gain traffic to the places that you sell your artwork, as I mentioned in point 2. So definitely give 2 and 3 a try. Point number 4 is to make this year a year of learning and practice. As artists, we grow and improve only by learning and practicing new skills. Make this new year a year of growth by taking the time to improve the skill sets that you have or that you might be lacking in. First, identify your weaknesses. Say that you can draw beautiful portraits, but you can't really draw bodies that well. You can sketch amazingly, but you can't really turn it into a polished line art. You can render flawlessly, but you don't quite understand lighting and how it affects 3D forms. You can paint the most vibrant and pretty colors, but you notice that your art looks really flat. Once you identify where your skills falter, set aside some specific hours of the day or week or month to look up ways to fix these issues. Research free video tutorials here on YouTube, find ebooks, blogs, or even take some cheap art courses on the specific areas that you need to improve on. Focus on one thing at a time. If you want to learn how to do more realistic anatomy and bodies, don't try to learn how to draw the whole human figure in 1 week. You'll most definitely burn out. Instead, focus on one body part at a time. When you break learning up into chunks, you'll see improvement more quickly and can see growth happening bit by bit. You can set aside a couple hours a week or even a couple hours a day, but what's important is actually scheduling out the time as if this were almost a real class you had to attend, but only schedule a realistic amount of time that you know you can achieve. Even 10 to 20 minutes a week is better than not studying at all. What's vital about this is that you hold yourself accountable and actually schedule out time to do it. I didn't start seeing growth until I actually did these things regularly, and I would actually use Google Calendars to schedule out my goals and tasks every week. And I remember people would come into my room and I'd be literally doing my little 30-minute study session, and I would tell them I have to focus right now, this is what I'm working on. I'll come talk to you in 20 minutes when I'm done. And you have to really take it seriously, I think, but not to the point that you burn out. If you can't do studying, you can't focus, definitely just do, smaller amounts of time, but at least do a little bit because it's much better than doing nothing at all. Point number 5 is to start a Google Calendar for your art goals. I'm only saying Google Calendars because that's what I use. It's most easy for me because I use Chrome on my Windows. but you can use a different program if you'd like on Apple or whatever, or even a real calendar. When you start planning out your days and marking off tasks, you're actually able to hold yourself accountable. Write down the goals that you need or want to get done this year and work towards it with a calendar. I didn't start to see quick growth in my art or my social media accounts until I created a calendar and tasks that I needed to get done with each week. It could be only one thing that's on that whole calendar, as long as it's written down and you can work towards it and then finally cross it off, that it becomes reality. It's not just an idea in your mind that you can forget or blow off. It's something to actually work towards. And in my current day and age, I typically use sticky notes to write down things I need to get done. And this new year, I am going to go back to using a calendar because I got so much more work done when I saw it in a calendar. It just made my dopamine rise when I was able to mark off a task every couple of hours, or every couple times a week. So definitely consider organizing your goals and tasks for art and even other things into a calendar. Point number 6 is to do redraws of your old art from time to time. By redrawing something that you made in the past, you'll truly see how much you've grown. Art styles evolve, as do skill levels and preferences. It can be a great motivator and learning lesson to redraw one of your best or worst art pieces from years ago. You'll see the mistakes that you made, and by correcting them in this newer version, you're proving to yourself just how far you've come. This could be a really cool yearly tradition to do, to show off that as an artist, you're not stagnant. No matter how little or how much, you're growing. And you don't really see that until you can transform something that you struggled with in the past. My last point is number 7, which is to join an art community. Art is a lifelong journey, especially in a world with social media. So it's important to know fellow artists who can not only inspire you, but motivate you and help you. Friends of all kinds are important, but having other artist friends who are passionate about the same things will only make the art journey more fun. Not only that, but you can hold each other accountable for the goals that you've made and help each other grow with critiques, advice, and inspiration. For some people, creating the art is the most fun, and for others it's sharing it and seeing reactions. And all of this really comes full circle when you join an art community, because people can help you with ideas of creating your art. You can share your art and get feedback. You can look at other art and get inspiration. And these communities could be anything from just following fellow friends on Instagram and talking to them, commenting to them, joining an art Discord. So just find a place where you're comfortable to fit in and talk to other artists and really just enjoy everything that art has to offer, which is more than just creating. It really can bring together all different kinds of people who can relate over the love of creating. So I hope that these 7 New Year resolution ideas can help you hopefully start 2023 in a good mindset and can help you avoid burnout and stress. Definitely probably don't do all of them because that might definitely lead to burnout, but maybe start with 1 or 2. If you have a lot of free time, you can merge some and do them together, or you don't even have to do any of them. But having these in your mind and knowing that you can do these if you really want to can open opportunities for you in the new year. Comment below if you plan on doing any of these ideas. I would love to know. Or if you have an idea of your own that you're going to be doing this new year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you're not already. Until next time, Happy New Year's. Bye!